Manchester City 4, Wolves nil. City just looks so good. Like, they had players like Marmoush and Cherki on their bench and was still 3-0 up. Reijnders just looks ridiculously insane. I think he could be signing of the summer. And the fact that he was like less than £50 million, I complained at the time when City signed him, like how they got such a good player for such good money. He was unbelievable for AC Milan last year. But Haaland with 2 goals, Reijnders with 1 goal, Cherki with a goal. Oscar Bobb really, really impressed me today as well. He looks like a good young player. I think if it wasn't for that leg break, I think last season could have been his breakthrough season. But Manchester City were incredible. And as a Manchester United fan, it's horrid to watch because I feel like a lot of people wrote City out of this title race because they had one bad year last year. I think people are forgetting this is Manchester City we're talking about. This is Pep Guardiola we're talking about. This is also Manchester City, which I said at the beginning of the window had a ridiculously good summer window. 8 Nori, Cherki, Reijnders is unbelievable business. They've also got Marmoush. I think there's a lot more to see from the young centre-backs they brought in January. I think there's a lot more to see from James Trafford, who I thought had a good game. I think there's, we look at Manchester City, Nico González as well. I thought he had a good game. There's more to see from him. Like, they brought a lot of players in the last sort of 12 months, and there's a lot more to see from them. They've got like Echeverry, these young players. Doku didn't have a good game today, but I still think he could have a breakout season. There was bits of him that I saw the back end of last season. City are good, and their depth is good, and it's so painful watching City because the way that they break other teams down is insane. Like, the way that they literally in the small spaces they were breaking other teams down, the way they can play through other teams so quickly, the football they play is incredible, and it makes me jealous. And I was literally looking at the starting lineup, and this starting lineup put them 3-0 up. No Foden, no Echeverry, no Savinho, no Oscar Bobb. So not Oscar Bobb. Oscar Bobb's there. No Marmoush, no Cherki, even in that starting 11, and they're absolutely fine. The Guardiola, and they're absolutely fine. They were playing absolutely brilliant football, and it's. I just know that they're going to be winning stuff this year, and I know they're going to be good again this year. And it's horrible as a Man United fan to know that City and Liverpool are just going to be. And Arsenal might be there, and Chelsea. And look, we've got to talk about Reijnders because Reijnders was incredible. Not just the goal and the assist, but his all-round play, winning back his duels, making tackles, final third passes. Like, he's Gundogan with the legs. He's prime Gundogan with the legs. Like, Gundogan's a great player, but he lost his legs, and you could see that last season at Man City with their midfield getting overrun, and that's when Man City went through their bad period. But Reijnders has got everything that you want in Gundogan. The late box runs, the movement, everything that you wanted from Gundogan, with the goals, the assists, the output, a proper number 8. But he's got the legs and that defensive mobility that Manchester City massively missed in Rodri's injuries. He can score, he can create, but he can also be the coverage for the defence. He can cover the space. He's defensively aware. He's got everything. He's so technically good that he can sit deep and he can recycle the ball, and he will be key in build-up for Manchester City. But he's also really good at contributing in the final third, and he just is a world-class player. The fact that you guys got him for like less than 50 million quid is insane. He was AC Milan's best player last season by a long way. He was phenomenal for AC Milan. And in this market, the fact that you got Reijnders for such a good price, and even Cherki is a bargain as well. The business City did is crazy. Like, with Reijnders, he is press resistant. He can cover huge ground defensively, which Gundogan could not. He's agile. He's unbelievable on the ball. He's technically good. He reads the game well. He's intelligent. He can build up, but he also can push high as a goal threat. He's got the box-winning movements. He was arguably the best midfielder in Serie A last season. I know Scott McTominay won MVP, but McTominay was very, very advanced. Reijnders was unbelievable, and he's just the second City player to score an assist on his debut after Sergio Aguero. So he's in good company. It wasn't just the goal and assist, it was the all-round performance. It was a world-class performance. He was so composed. He was so comfortable on the ball. Like, do you think this is his first ever game in the Premier League? And he slotted in perfectly. He did not look the slightest bit out of place. He just fit right in, and he's just phenomenal. I have no words for how good Reijnders was today. And he was so good in the Club World Cup. I remember watching the Club World Cup, he was good. Obviously, new in City sign, it was a good signing. And it's the perfect signing for City. It's the perfect Gundogan replacement. And he just makes it look easy. And I just think I'm annoyed because I actually had him in my FPL. And then I took him out and I went for like a more expensive striker. And I thought I'll bring Bruno in the midfield. And so Bruno better bag for me versus Arsenal tomorrow. But at least Haaland was my captain in FPL. Like, the only good thing about that game was Haaland was my captain in FPL. Because watching City... City are good. I think, like I said, City could finish fourth, but they can also finish first this year. Any of those top four teams can win the Premier League this year, and I think you'd be crazy to write City out of it of one bad season. They have so much quality; it makes me so jealous. But Oscar Bobb, he, for me, really impressed me. Most dribbles with 3, 94% pass accuracy, 100% long ball success, 2 chances created, got an assist today. Just glides past defenders. It was just when he was getting the ball and he was dribbling and gliding past players, he made it look so effortless. It had that Hazard-esque vibe to it. I think the fact that Pep started him on the opening day shows that this could be a big season for him. Pep trusts him. He's 22, so he's not like 18, 19 young anymore. Obviously, he had that massive setback last season. But I think he's going to be big this season for Manchester City. I think if you can't see it in Oscar Bobb, just football's not the sport for you. Like, the amount of potential that kid has, his technical ability is insane. He's one of those players that you can play as a touchline winger, beat his man, do what you want as a touchline winger, but can also operate and come inside of the 10 because he's so good on the ball. The ball sticks to his feet like glue. He's so good in those small spaces with the quick combination play to break down the opposition's slow blocks, the quick 1-2s, the movements. He's so good at that. He's so technically good. I think Oscar Bobb is in for a big season. Technically good, really good dribbler, really smart player, really intelligent player. Obviously had a big setback last year. I think this is a big season for Oscar Bobb. He's taking on his man. He's making things happen. And I think the fact that Pep started him tells you everything you need to know, that Pep sees this guy highly. City have got all this attacking talent, and I think one of the reasons they might be letting Savinho go is because of Oscar Bobb. Maybe they see Oscar Bobb as having high potential. Marmoush could go on the right. But I want to give a shout out to someone that maybe hasn't had the best start to his City career, but was good today. So Nico González probably didn't have the best start to his City career, and I felt that people were writing him off way too early. I think he had a few good games for City, then struggled a little bit, then didn't get consistent minutes. And I think when you're a young player, you've got to adapt to a new league and everything. But I thought he was really good today. I think he showed what he could do today. And I think obviously playing 6 under Pep Guardiola is hard. He's got to learn about that role and how to adapt to that role. But I thought he was very good today. 14 final third passes, 4 times possession on, 3 tackles, 2 out of 2 dribbles, 7 out of 8 duels won, 2 shots. I thought it was really good. I think what he did is he freed up Reijnders to play more advanced, and that worked really well. And I think that's what Rodri will do when Rodri recovers. But he was winning back the ball. He was making the line-breaking passes. I thought he was really good, and I think he's been written off way too early. I think he needs time to adapt. I don't think you can write a player off after 6 months. It's obviously really difficult to be a 6 under Pep. But I do think he's got the right physical ability, ground courage, can play at the right intensity to work in the Premier League. And I do think he's got the right technical ability to play under Pep. I guess it's just the intelligence, the positioning, the getting used to everything. But I was really impressed with Nico today. I think it was a really good game. I want to talk about Cherki. Came off the bench, scored in his debut, 2-footed, unpredictable, full of tricks. That goal from Cherki, that finish was phenomenal. And I think with Cherki, like, just scoring a goal off the bench and the confidence is a big part of that. We know what he can do with his tricks and flicks and his movements. We all know he's going to be a good signing for Manchester City. But the big thing about Cherki is, can he get that confidence? Can he get that goal? And he got that goal, and it was a phenomenal finish, and he took it incredibly well, and was willing to set people up. And I think that will be big. And I just look at City, and I think the depth they have is absolutely scary. Like, I'm looking at sort of my roundup. I thought Reijnders, Bobb, Cherki, and Nico all really impressed me today. Haaland scored his goals. Maybe Doku could have had a better game, but Pep's got all these players, not to mention Foden, Echeverry, all these options in midfield and attack when everyone's back and everybody's fit. I think there's questions over right back. The young players are good, but City look hungry, and I think people are sleeping on City because of last season. I don't think people realise how, like, Aït-Nouri again was pretty solid defensively today, and people try to make out he can't defend. I feel like people are sleeping on how good Pep Guardiola is a manager, how good these City players are, how good a signing Reijnders is, Aït-Nouri, Cherki. They've obviously got Marmoush and Haaland, the ability there. I feel like people are sleeping on it. And I think Oscar Bobb was, Reijnders clearly man of the match, but I thought Oscar Bobb was very impressive. I think there's such a player in there. But anyway, I just wanted to do a video on City's first game of the season, and hopefully it's a one-off, because I do not want to watch City be good every week. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.